The Chapter 2 supplement is on unit analysis. This is also one of the topics for the first project. The first objective is converting units, and to do this I want to look at the conversion facts for unit analysis. This is in the back of your course pack, or you may have it available to you online. What this sheet looks like is a list of conversion facts separated by English to American and English to metric. I'm going to need to use some of these conversion facts when I'm converting between units. Like, for example, in the first problem, I want to convert 14 inches into centimeters. So for this one, I would use the fact that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so let me write that down here. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. Alright, I'm going to need to use that fact to be able to figure out how many centimeters are in 14 inches. To start my unit conversions, I want to start by writing the original quantity with its original units. That's the 14 inches. And then I want to multiply by a fraction equal to 1, so the units that I want to eliminate appear in one numerator and one denominator. So in this case, I want to get rid of inches. This is my fact. I know inches. And so, again, since this is a fraction, whatever I put on the top of one fraction and the bottom of the other fraction will cancel. So you can see my goal here is to get rid of those units, inches, by using this fact. And this fact is that 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1 inch. This is equal to 1. Again, we said multiply by a fraction equal to 1. This is equal to 1 because the conversion fact states that this is true. Those two are equal, and therefore that is equal to 1. So I'm not changing the 14 inches when I multiply it by 1. The inches cancel, and I'll finish the multiplication to figure out how many centimeters I have. So I need to take 14 times 2.4. So 14 times 2.54 is 35.556. So 35.56 centimeters is my final answer. Let's take a look at the next one. This one's 28 pounds. I'm going to start with 28 pounds, and I'm going to multiply by a fraction in such a way that I can make sure that I put pounds in the bottom. My goal is to get those to cancel, and hopefully I have some information about ounces on the top. So let's look back about pounds and ounces. Pounds and ounces, 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So make sure I put my numbers appropriately here. It was 1 pound equal to 16 ounces. Pounds cancel, and I have 28 times 16 gives us 448 ounces. And OZ is the abbreviation for ounce. Okay, let's look at the next one. 1.75 liters is how many fluid ounces? So I'm going to start with 1.75 liters. Multiply by a fraction. Now this fraction must have liters in the bottom to get liters to cancel, and see what we can do. Alright, liters are metric, so I'm going to look for a way to turn liters into ounces. I can turn liters into pints, liters into gallons, liters into fluid ounces. There we go. That's the one I need. Liters into fluid ounces. So for this one, 1 fluid ounce is equal to 0.030 liters. So 0.030 liters is equal to 1 fluid ounce. Alright, and so we're going to multiply these again. This is 1.75 times 1. Liters cancel. And it gives me 1.75 times 1 is 1, divided by, because that was in the denominator. And the other ones, notice I had been dividing by 1. So I would just multiply and divide by 1. Here I'm multiplying by 1 and dividing by this number right here. So we're going to take 1.75 divided by 0.030. 58.3 repeating. So 58.33 fluid ounces. My direction said round to 2 decimal places. Fluid ounces. Alright, in the next one, 40 weeks is how many hours? Multiply by, what do I know about weeks? I don't need my conversion sheet for this one. I know that there are 7 days in a week. That would be the wrong place to put 7, because 7 is the unit on days. Make sure I write the unit week on the bottom, because I need week to cancel. It's the unit day that goes on top. 7 days in 1 week. And that's not going to answer my question. That's just going to turn this into days. I'm going to have to use a second conversion right here to turn days into hours. So days are on top. I'm going to cancel days by putting in a number of days in the bottom and a number of hours in the top. I know that 1 day is 24 hours. So my second conversion will cancel days and be finally in hours. So use 2 different conversion facts here. So we need to take 40 times 7 over 1 times 24 over 1. So I get 6,720 hours in 40 weeks. In the next one, we're looking at 360 square inches into square feet. So I'm going to start by dividing this workspace right here in half, because there are 2 different ways to do this. Okay. First way, I can think about this 360 square inches. See, the only thing that's different about this one is that it's square inches as opposed to regular inches. Square inches are inches times inches. That's what makes something squared, just to be multiplied by itself, right? Square inches are inches times inches. So if I want to convert this into feet, I can use the fact that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, so 12 inches, put inches on the bottom, and foot on the top. But by doing that conversion, that only gets rid of a single of the inches. It doesn't get rid of the entire square inches. So we need to do that same conversion again to be able to get rid of the second inch measurement. So 12 inches again is 1 foot again. Now the other inch will cancel with the second inch. And what we're going to have is 360 divided by 12 divided by 12. Okay, so 360 divided by 12 divided by 12. Or if you want to type that a different way, you can type 360 divided by the quantity 12 times 12. You can multiply the bottoms together first and then divide. Either way, it's 2.5. So this one is 2.5. Now the unit should be square feet, because again, out of the units that are left, I have feet times feet, which is square feet. Okay. That was one of the ways of thinking about it. Another way to think about it, just to compare, would be to think about it as it's 360 square inches. And if I use the conversion fact 12 inches is equal to 1 foot, that's not going to do it, because this is inches squared and that's just regular inches. So to get square inches, I need to square both parts of this conversion fact. That includes squaring the number. So this is going to turn into 360 square inches equal, or times 1 squared. 1 times 1 is 1. And 12 squared, 12 times 12, 12 times 12 is 144. Square inches. Okay, so now they're both in inches squared, so now I'll be able to divide 360 divided by 144 is 2.5. Oops, I forgot to write my squared right there. Feet squared, make that squared. Okay, so however you want to think about it, if you want to think about, since this was square inches, I'm going to separate into inch and use my conversion fact twice, or square inches, so I'm going to square the inches so I can get the square conversion fact. Doesn't matter. Both will get you the same result. We're actually doing the same thing in both of them, really, because to square something is to multiply it by itself, which is what we've done up here. So there's two different ways of expressing that same idea. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next one. This is 13 meters cubed. So I'm going to have to convert that into cubic yards. Okay, so we need a fact that's going to turn me from meters to yards. So I'm going to use this one here. 1 yard is 0.9144 meters. So 0.9144 meters is 1 yard. Since meters were on the top, they have to be in the bottom in this one. And since they're cubed, I have to cube my conversion fact. I'm just using the second technique. So it's going to turn this into 13 square meters times 1 times 1 times 1 is still 1. 1 cubed is 1. Over 0.9144 to the third power. So that new number in my denominator is going to be 0.76455 meters cubed. Here we have, oh, I wrote square, I meant to write cubed. I was thinking about the last problem. Meters cubed cancels with meters cubed and gives us a final answer of 13 times 1 is 13 divided by 0.76455. So I'm going to take 13 divided by answer, so I'm going to retype that whole number. And I get 17.003. It says to keep two decimal places, so we're going to say 17.0 or 17 cubic yards.